the Dana Loesch Show. We talk about stuff.
Oh my gosh, it has been a day for drama. So Democrats and the press have completely lost their minds. For a very long time now, people have referred to the relationship between the United States and Israel as special. He didn't show up here as a political candidate. And I know that President Obama and the administration are all bent out of shape because they say, oh, this is political. I mean, granted, I guess, it's political to have Netanyahu come over here as the prime minister of Israel because elections notwithstanding, he's still the prime minister of Israel. But apparently it's not political for the administration to send its operatives to have people that worked on the Obama campaign over in Israel campaigning, consulting, doing oppo stuff for Netanyahu's opponent. Really? Now, it turns out that Hillary had a private email account that she used for her entire tenure. The president loves talking about breaches in protocol, right? But listen, this is an enormous breach in protocol. What was said? Who saw it? Was there classified information being exchanged?
8 months ago, we asked the State Department through a FOIA request to give us that information, and they didn't even deny the request. They just flat out ignored us. And so now we're at the point where we need to file a lawsuit to find out what happened. And specifically, Dana, what we're looking for is we want to know what happened. We want the email records as well as the phone records for the period of time surrounding the attacks in Benghazi.
Over the years, we have truly prostituted the Constitution through judges, through Republicans and Democrats. Doesn't matter who's up here, who's in control or who's not. The same thing happens and the same problems don't get addressed.
Congress is not submissive to the executive branch. They are equal.
We did need cuts, but the military should not have borne the biggest part of our gutting since we are at risk in the world today.
The White House had threatened to shoot down Israel's military planes if they had taken any sort of aggressive action towards Iran. Is that believable to you?
It is believable enough that we are talking about it. So we have to at least put some stock of seriousness in it.
I feel like we have fewer anti-war people because they're understanding the difference between strength and preparedness. This has always been a top issue for you.
Well, it has. Look, I was not in favor of what they did in Iraq because I said when we leave, it's going to fall apart. And I was right about that. And they really did break up the balance of the Middle East. And, when Iraq went, everything else followed. And it's a whole mess. I mean, say what you want about Saddam Hussein, but he used to kill terrorists. He used to kill them on a daily basis. And he was a tough cookie, and they needed that kind of a tough cookie.
Now, for his part, the president views this as a complete takeover of his foreign policy. Well, somebody's got to, right? And this has people in the press, in the administration, and in the Democratic Party losing their ever-loving minds. A foreign leader coming in to the United States to talk to a joint session of Congress. Why am I getting such a sense of deja vu here? I feel like, oh, that's right, because not too long ago, the president invited Mexican President Felipe Calderón to come and talk to a joint session of Congress, and guess what? Felipe Calderón criticized our laws, said we need to rewrite the U.S. Constitution, went after Arizona Governor Jan Brewer, as well as governors in other states, said that we were discriminatory and bigoted, and Democrats just about damn near knocked themselves over in applause. I'm still crabby after being in D.C. because quite literally it breaks off chunks of my soul and rots them. I hate that town with the burning passion of 1,000 suns, although they do have great museums and pretty architecture.
There's a lot of energy around you as a candidate. You're crushing in the polls right now. You've been identified, at least by the media, as being the front runner as much as they try to make hay out of every single thing that comes out of your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, a couple different things. I think one part of the reason why voters are interested in what we have to say, and I'm still exploring, I hate that word, but lawyers tell us we have to say we're exploring until we're not, but exploring a campaign is because people want not only a fighter, they want someone who fights and wins.
Do you feel like you're in a spiritual quarantine of sorts?
I have to say that one of the things that happened in putting this piece out in the world is that I was proven wrong in the best way possible, in the sense that the outpouring of affection and warmth and welcoming that have come from both sides of the aisle and have come from both atheists, agnostics, and believers in other faiths, that has far overwhelmed the judgment that I was fearful of.
So deliciously epic. You just need to savor it. Bye.